Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I am so grateful that I get to spend this time with you, helping you to magnify your miracles. We're going to be talking about the most common question that I am asked today. But before we get into that, let's take a few deep breaths together. Just breathing in the energy of expansion and breathing out anything that you no longer need. Just kind of settling into yourself for just a moment. Why do I always do this? I do this because it helps us to become more receptive to not only what we're hearing, but to your own inner responses and your own inner guidance. So knowing that whatever you're going to hear today is exactly what you need to help you move forward in a powerful way to help you magnify your miracles, let's take that one last deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, well, welcome once again, my friend. And I have to say that I am so excited to talk about this topic because when I was thinking about it, it's like, if I get asked this question one more time, it's definitely going to mean that a lot of people have this question. And of course, I've been asked this question many times since I said that. So I figured, let me do a podcast episode on it because maybe it'll help you. The number one question, whenever I meet somebody and I tell them what I do, I tell them that I'm an energy coach, I tell them that I'm an interfaith minister, and I tell them that I work with visionary entrepreneurial people who are here to do big things in the world. And you can see their eyes get big. And I know that they're saying like, ooh, that's me. And we're chatting and invariably they'll ask me like, well, what is it that you usually work with people with? And I will ask them, well, what is the one thing that you would want to ask me if you could have an appointment with me? What is it that you'd want to ask? And they always say, am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? And honestly, the second question is, am I with the right person? Like, am I married to the right person? But the first question is always, am I on the right path? And I've seen people, 7-figure businesses, super successful, people that are just starting out, asking this question, am I on the right path? And if this is a question that you ask yourself, or you have asked yourself, or it's in the back of your mind and you have not quite put a voice to it yet, I really want you to listen today because this episode is for you. Now, I'm recording this in November of 2022. This time of the year, I tend to become very reflective. What's been working, what's not been working, what do I want to change for the new year? And maybe you're doing that too, which is why I wanted to record this now so it can be helpful for you. So I'm going to put on my energy coach hat and I'm going to take you through a process as if you are a client of mine. And we're going to do a little bit of energy coaching here with you. So when people say that to me, whenever I do a session with people, there's 3 components to it. One is I talk to you. I talk to you person to person, have my coach hat on. I'm really listening for what's going on with you. I'm going to give you some feedback, ask you some questions. But then the second thing is we're going to look at your energy because the answer to everything is in your energy, how you really feel about something, what your real guidance is. And then the third aspect of it is the intuitive piece of hearing Mother Mary's guidance or whoever it is that you work with. If you don't resonate with Mother Mary, that's totally fine. Whatever greater being that you resonate with, we listen for guidance from that particular energy. And those 3 levels, in my opinion, are what make really fast results for people and what makes this work miraculous, to be honest with you. So, but we start with that question, am I on the right path? So if you're thinking that, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what makes you think you're not on the right path? What makes you think that you're not on the right path? And then usually that's where the truth comes out. And people will say, well, because blah, 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 blah. And then they'll tell me what's really going on with them. Now, usually it's one of 2 things. Either we have an opinion or an expectation, like I should be somewhere else by now. If I was on the right path, it should be easy. So any of those shoulds that come up, you would write them down kind of on the left side of the page. But then I listen for the other thing, which is, I just have this feeling that there's something more, or maybe I need to incorporate something. I don't know, something just doesn't feel right. And that's where my ears really, really perk up. Because the other voice that says, I'm this age and I should be here by now. If I was on the right path, it would be easier. So-and-so made it before I did. What's wrong with me? Like whatever that is, that's the inner critic. That's the voice that's trying to just kind of pick at you. And it's really more of your expectation and your opinion. Now, I still honor that and I help people unpack that and work through that. But what I'm really interested in is this other piece, which is I have a feeling. Now, you have to remember that we're all conditioned to ignore our feelings. I was just talking to somebody about this last week. And I think I was on Insight Timer. I was doing an Insight Timer live, and you can catch me there sometimes if you're on Insight Timer. And that's the thing that she said. And she was like, how do I know I'm not making it up? How do I know it's not just, in my mind or whatever? And what I said was, if you just had an experience and your mind immediately kicks in and says, how do I know I'm not making it up? That's your mind trying to talk you out of your experience. Now, I'm not saying you want to, just listen to everything mamby-pamby, but you want to get feedback. And so if you're in the process of trying to magnify your miracles, one of the things that you need to learn is how miracles show up for you. How do you know when a miracle is in the process of happening? Are you aware of the sensation in your body, or you get that kind of nudge, or you get a certain feeling, or whatever it might be? And that's what we want to take a look at. And so I'm going to ask you to kind of write it down. What makes you think that you're not on the right path? And then take a look at that. Are there more things in the left column of the shoulds and the expectations? Or there are some things on that right column, even if it's one thing that says, I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling that there's something else. Or there's a little whisper inside of you that's like, I would really love to do X, Y, or Z, whatever it might be. And then the next thing I would do if you were working with me is I would say, well, we've talked about it, but let's ask your energy. Now, what I mean by that is your energy field, all of your chakras, the totality of who you are, the truth is already there. Your mind can tell you all day long, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, I don't know, what about this? Your mind is responding to your conditioning, to other people's expectations, and to your fears. And so how many times have you heard somebody say, oh, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I was too afraid. I was too afraid to write my book. I was too afraid to record my music. I was too afraid to take the pottery class. I was too afraid to leave my job, whatever it might be. I was too afraid, right? So that is the mind talking you out of your feeling and your intuition, trying to tell you that you shouldn't want what you want. And this is why we need support, because we're all conditioned in this way to ignore what I call feminine energy, your intuition, your creativity. We minimize it. And we pretend that it's not really that important. And left to your own devices, you're going to continue to talk yourself out of it. And it's going to sound really logical, and it's going to make a lot of sense. And you're going to have all these bullet points of like, this is why I should not do the thing that makes me so happy. And you're going to feel like, yeah, at least that's what I find. At least that's what my mind does to me. Maybe you're different. And if you are, I'd love to hear about it. But this, my friend, is the truth, is that your opinions are not in your energy field. What's in your energy field is what you are wired for. What's in your energy field is what is the truth about you. And so when I read your energy field, I'm having a conversation with you and I'm listening and I'm saying, okay, here's my lovely client. Let's just call her Susan. Here's my lovely client, Susan. And her question is, am I on the right path? And the right path might be that she wants to expand her business, or that she wants to be more creative in her business, or whatever it might be. And then I look at your energy field, and your energy field is going to immediately tell me what's really true for you. And it might tell me something that you and I haven't talked about, such as what's really going on in your energy is that you want to have a lot more fun and not be strategizing so much. That your energy is saying, I can get her there, but she needs to let go of the nose to the grindstone and have a lot more fun. Or it might be saying, yeah, her energy is way out there and she needs to pull her energy in and do more inward stuff like writing rather than social media all the time. How would we know? We have to ask your energy. Now, at this point, if you have someone that you can ask, I highly encourage you to do that. And if you're able to ask your own energy, Definitely do that. I know for me, it's still challenging for me to ask my energy. The closest I come is when I journal, which is why I think journaling is an awesome, awesome tool. But even there, your mind can creep in and start to go, now, this is the thing that makes more sense. This is the logical thing. I think you should wait a little bit longer. I think you need to do a little bit more research, or whatever it might be. That's where you need an advocate. You need somebody who can say, I'm going to be the champion of you and your energy and your truth, and I'm going to support you in at least knowing it. Even if you're not ready to take action on it, don't you want to know that you're on the right path? Don't you want to know what that next step is for you? Don't you want to know what's in harmony with you and for you? Now, normally you would need to sign up and do a mentoring program with me, but Mother Mary has told me people need to know what's going on with their energy. So that's why I created a brand new service called Ask Your Energy. You can have an Ask Your Energy session with me. Go to my francesfaden.com/work with me. You go there and you'll see right at the top of the page, you can sign up for an Ask Your Energy session. You come to me with your question, like, am I on the right path? What about this? What about that? And we'll go through this process just like we did. And then we will ask your energy and you will get definitive answers, not theories, not hypotheses, but like, this is what your energy is saying. Now, sometimes people need a little bit more support to be able to act on that. And that's where the mentoring does come in. But the truth of the matter is right now, if you're feeling like, I just need some validation. Am I on the right path? Is this the way forward? And the reason you might be feeling like you're not sure that you're on the right path is there might be other influences that are making you feel weird. Like maybe your relationship is off, or maybe your diet is off. Maybe there's something else that's going on that's affecting other things that's making you go, am I on the right path? Right? So all of those things are in your energy. And I would love to answer that question for you. If that's a question that you have, am I on the right path? You can also ask, am I with the right person? That's a whole different other conversation, but they're all related. Am I in alignment with myself? That's really what you're asking when you're asking, am I on the right path? It's like, am I in alignment with myself? Am I in alignment? Am I hearing things correctly? Is my guidance on target? Is that what's going on? So do yourself a favor, my friend. Get that confirmation. It frees up your energy for all the other things that you're here on this planet to do. And I'd love to work with you. That would be awesome. So you can go to my website, francesfaden.com, and you can just click on the Work With Me page, and right there in the top, why not schedule yourself and ask your energy session. Schedule yourself and ask your energy session. Had to get that out of my mouth. And why not take it from there and see where it goes? So I hope that this is inspiring for you. I'd love to hear if that question ever comes up for you. And how have you handled that question when you've thought, am I on the right path? I'd love to hear how you respond to that. If you did enjoy this episode, I would so appreciate it if you shared it with your friends, with your family, with anybody that you know might be asking this question right now. And also, thank you so much for sharing on social media. It means so, so much to me. Always remember, my friend, the key to magnifying your miracles is to know that your miracle is already here. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.